Good evening, namaste, welcome. Welcome to our beautiful, soulful Sunday conversations.
Hello, Sujata.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome.
Love the flowers on your top.
Thank you, Marita.
Really cute. Love it.
Thank you. Yes, Vinita, we can't hear you.
No, I was just saying these flowers are giving such happy feelings, when you look at these flowers and everything matches the curtains and the floral.
Hi, Nandini, welcome.
Should we give it a start, the session? And
Yeah,
I can
yes, of course. Actually, now since we are putting them all up on YouTube and we are sending the link, so I mean,
a
it's a
lot of
Sunday
people.
evening, fewer people are joining in, but that's absolutely fine because we just need to share what we are talking on, and as many as they are here, it's just fine. The energy of people present in a group is very different, but in these talks, we can definitely.
Sujata, I want to say something. I think it's so brilliant that you're putting it. Oh, sorry. Uh,
Yeah, Nandini, you were trying to say something.
yeah, I'm just saying, I think it's so lovely that you're putting it on YouTube because, some of these conversations or even some of the programs, you are there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We
Yeah,
can.
it's so good to go through it again. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Nandini.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I think it's so nice that you started putting it on the YouTube because I watch the, even though I attend the sessions, but I still end up watching them at times, because there's so much, so many pointers, so many things that you can pick up, and it's really nice that one can see it again, and I'm sure it would be useful to anybody see it more than once. So I thank you so much.
Thank you for
Sujata
saying
and
that. That's
Vinita,
very,
whoever's organizing this, it's
yeah,
really nice.
that's very motivating. Yeah, it's like Vinita, Srishti, and Tanvi, and a young gentleman who's done my website, Rohit, who pushes, and he's the one who actually encouraged me to put it on YouTube and all that because I'm just not comfortable with all this. So we just Tanvi and
But it's a
Srishti,
great idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
they do the recording and they just send it
No.
across.
And even your Reiki,
Yeah. Thank you for
excellent,
saying
really
that.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah. And I also feel that the purpose is that it should, as many people who are ready to hear it, to receive, a lot of it is repetitive. A lot of times I also feel it's repetitive. But I also feel that when I also repeat the same thing or hear the same thing, it's something that is reprogramming in my subconscious also. It's not that I don't feel those emotions or I don't feel, get caught up in stuff from time to time. But when I'm repeating the same thing and I'm hearing the same thing, it definitely makes a difference. And that's how actually our beliefs are formed, isn't it? That's how beliefs are formed. When we keep repeating affirmations and we're repeating the positive statements, then they become a part of us. And when we start to begin to believing in that, that really makes us attract the positive in our life. Because at the end of the day, it is the law of attraction, isn't it? Whatever we are believing in, that's the energy that we are sending out, and that's the energy that we are receiving. So it's very important to keep repeating, to keep listening to these things. I mean, that's why we do all these things like affirmation work or Reiki, just to change those thoughts into positive thoughts and hence attract more of the positive.
So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the things that we talk, especially on our Sunday conversations, so maybe theoretically we all know about it. But once we hear it, see it, and it just gets reaffirmed. And so many times, when I'm talking about myself, when I come to attend the session, and by the end of the session, you're absolutely on a different zone. You're actually feeling so nice about it. It's, I think, about the group energy that we usually talk about that happens, that just, kicks off the change. So it's so beautiful sessions, and thank you all so much because we keep getting lot of messages. Lot of new people have been inquiring about our program. Just to keep a little note to and connect the dots of last couple of sessions on Sunday conversation and also emotional alchemy that Sujata is starting. Actually, orientation has already happened yesterday. So our today's session is also a part of that, where we say that if you cannot change the external, which we cannot, because life is an ocean, we get waves. Some of the waves we are aware of, some of the waves we are absolutely taken aback. I mean, it can actually sink the biggest ship, even like a Titanic, and the experienced captains are also sometimes, not grounded enough. So the sessions when we talk about emotional alchemy also, it is about using the modalities and how we can keep ourselves so grounded. So somebody, in case if you're looking at more of knowing about it, you could connect with me or you could connect with Sujata Didi on this. And Sujati, my first question to you also, there were a couple of people who were also asking about this. Since we say that we cannot change the fate, but we can change the way to reach the desired goals. But could you explain what it really means? Is it not contradictory to fate versus karma?
No, no, it is not at all contradictory. Not at all, in fact, contradictory. Because, see, like this is a very big question, and different schools of thought have different things that they share about, the different philosophies to this. And actually, I respect all of them. But whatever my little knowledge or wisdom of this topic is that uh, if there is something that is sort of meant to happen or destined to happen in your life, even that change is something which will happen, and your karmas will lead you into the direction where you will make the change. So that change is also your fate, that is also destined. If you're supposed to go in a particular direction, supposing I've chosen the medical field and I want to become a doctor, but life has chosen some different path for me. So there will be something that the universe will conspire in some way. And we may say that, yeah, I changed directions. But the direction, that change in direction is also something which is already pre-planned. That is also written in our destiny, that even if you have chosen to go in a particular way and your mind has thought that you'll become a doctor and you're doing all the necessary things to be in the medical field, but you land up in totally a different field, a different school, it would mean that you're destined to make that diversion. And the universe will bring up or set up your whole life in such a way where you will see yourself organically moving through it. And actually, this quote also yesterday, as you know, there were a lot of topics going up and down as to what we should discuss on the Sunday topic. Where I saw it, whether it came up on Facebook or just a message from somewhere. And the moment it came up, I just thought that, yeah, this is nice. If you can't change the direction of the wind, which obviously we can't do. I mean, whatever you might say, even physically, if the wind is flowing in a particular direction, we obviously cannot change that direction. But if we are on a sailboat, we can definitely adjust the sails in such a way so that we are able to move in one particular direction. That's how I believe sailboats are made, that you can adjust the sails in such a way that whatever direction that you choose, in one particular direction you can continue to move. So what does it mean in a bigger picture? What is the spiritual understanding of this? The wind is actually showing you the external situation or the external circumstances, which sometimes just like a strong wind just uproot us, don't they? Sometimes things happen, situations happen in our lives which are traumatic, and they just uproot us, and they can just actually turn the boat upside down, right? But if you're able to hold your ground in the midst of that strong wind, and adjust those sails of the sailboat, you'll see that you'll be able to sail through the roughest of storms and winds in a particular direction. So actually, literally, it means that if you need to change course, if you've decided to do something and you've made a choice to do something, it's not that you need to change your destination. That is what I got out of understanding this deeper. You don't need to change your destination. You can still focus on the destination or whatever it is that you're wanting to go, wherever you're wanting to go to. But you can change the direction, the way in which you've chosen to walk. And sometimes we resist that. The problem is only resistance, nothing else. Sometimes we resist that because it's like, how our mind is in a way programmed that I'm going to, do this in my life and I'm going to reach there. So that plan is somewhere already gone through our mind, isn't it? And when we are already on the course and suddenly we have to change our direction, I mean, it just throws us a little off guard. And that's when we feel our energy gets ruffled, right? So we again come back to the same thing of, we cannot change. And where do we put all our focus on at that time? That time when we put all our focus is all on the outside, because the biggest thing at that time is the storm, is the wind, isn't it? And you cannot see this little figure in between who has all the power to just change the direction and flow with the reach your destination. So the focus has to shift from outside to the inside. That is what we have to, that is what we're trying to convey through this. And in different ways in the last 2 weeks also, like Vinita reminded me, we were talking on this aspect only, that it is all about focusing and changing the inside. And now we've been repeating it in different ways, and these quotes just sort of validate it further and further. And we know all the, like most of us here know all the tools also that are needed now to, slightly shift, come back to your center, and then you can do anything. It's like once you're in the center, then you can, it's like when you're driving a car, you have your steering wheel, and if it is already in one direction, you have to get it back to center, or you have to put the gear back to neutral before you decide, what speed you have to pick up on. So it's just that matter of coming back to the center and then adjusting your sail in such a way so that you can stop the resistance and go in the direction that you need to. And it just seemed so beautiful the way it was put up. It just seemed such a beautiful quote. And all these things, when we start moving in this path and we start focusing on certain things, they catch your eye like this. They really catch your eye like this, and it really confirms what you're talking about. And then it becomes your belief. When you do that little adjustment, you step back, then it starts to become your belief, and then it becomes your reality. Yes, Arjun, let's hear from you.
Hi, Sujata. I just wanted to say, I love the title of this, but I think one thing that I've really learned with working with you, you always say that, and kind of pertinent to the question is that don't worry about the destination, because that is not in our hands, or like, I don't even know what is the best for me, right? Like to your example, if I feel I want to become a doctor, I feel that because I think that will make me happy, but that may not be true. So if the universe is pointing me to something else, then if I feel that, oh, I'm not becoming a doctor, then I'll be sad. So what is in my control is how I'm feeling about the situation, not the situation itself. And as long as I can change how I'm feeling about something, I think that analog of, if I can move my sails in alignment with the wind, then I don't struggle anymore. Then anyway, I'll end up being happy, regardless of what the end destination is. So that's sort of what I took away from the title.
Wonderful. And it becomes so effortless, isn't it? When you adjust that sail towards the direction of
exactly,
the wind,
because then you're not fighting against something.
Yeah, and the wind just carries you to your destination. Thank you for that sharing. I just love your sharings, and such a lovely student you are, Arjun. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here and sharing.
Yeah. I was just asking to begin with the grounding or thinking into a positive direction. Can we use affirmations or the switch words which you were, slightly mentioning in our orientation? Are they the two same things, or we could actually try and shift our inner self and inner gear to let us move into the direction where possibly the divine faith is taking us, and stop struggling inside?
So see, there are two things to what you're asking, Vinita. One is that we have all the necessary tools. We have all the necessary tools, whether it is Reiki, it is EFT, it is, breath work, or all the things that I have been teaching, through this, through these various sessions that we are holding. So you can use anything. And yes, affirmations are, something which can be used in any of these tools. The fact is, whether it is grounding or you're coming back to your center, you can use all these. Affirmations are like statements, and we give affirmations, but actually you can make affirmations. Every statement that you make is an affirmation, isn't it? If you keep repeating it again and again, it's a positive affirmation. If you repeat a negative thought again and again, it becomes a negative affirmation. And once we keep repeating, affirmations are given to reprogram your subconscious mind, isn't it? So when we keep repeating those affirmations again and again, they start to become a part of us, and they start to become our belief. Like I said, the thought leads to the belief. Switch words are something very different. They're also like a tool. They wouldn't be straight words. Affirmation is like, I'm open to the abundant blessings of the universe. So even if I'm feeling like a sort of a lack in my life, in my abundance, and I just start affirming that I am open to the abundant blessings of the universe, then I'm attracting that abundance into my life, right? Switch words are not so straight. You don't understand the words because it's a whole different science. It's a whole different science. And yes, in this emotional alchemy program that I am doing, I'm going to just put in everything that I know. I don't know how it's going to be, because like I always said, even in the orientation yesterday, it's an experiment for me too. It's all about reaching good health with affirmations, with EFT, with Reiki, with SRT, everything that I know, we're going to incorporate it. And at the top of it is going to be meditation, just meditation or mindfulness, if I may use a better term, and even today, when we are talking about this topic, it's whenever we are mindful, even when we say the word mindful, what does it mean? It just brings in a pause inside us. Actually, all the time, if you look at this word mindful, it's a very negative. If you want to look at it, mind is full, and your mind is full, it's like you're mad, isn't it? But this is mindful in a different way. It's like one word, it's mindful. So you are aware of your mind. You're aware of your mind. So whatever you do, every step that you take, you're brushing your teeth, you're having a cup of tea, you're having a shower, you're walking on the grass, you are aware of every breath, every step, every action that you're taking. And mindfulness is such a wonderful practice. And when we bring mindfulness, which I would say is a step below awareness, if I can say, if we want to put it in a hierarchical way. Otherwise, I would say they are more or less the same thing. When we do things mindfully, then they have a whole different meaning. I mean, I'm sure all of us know when we are doing something and we are not attentive to that. Like if I'm talking to you and suddenly a thought comes into my mind about something that I need to do 1 hour later, or, somebody's going to ring the bell, the chemist has to deliver the medicine, just a thought pops in and my awareness goes there, my attention towards you will be diverted, isn't it? And lots will catch it because the whole energy will change. So when we are focusing on things and we are mindful, meaning we are really, really present in what we are doing, then it's not just the words that you're conveying, it's the energy that goes across. So even when we look at this quote of what we have chosen to speak about today, it's really, really telling us that stop the resistance. All the problem comes with the resistance, isn't it? And when we stretch, what is resistance? Even when we studied resistance in physics, it's like, when you're pulling a rubber band, so that's the resistance. What is the resistance? How strong can you pull it? And that is going against the natural way. And the moment you let it go, it goes back to its original form. But if you keep pulling it, if you keep resisting, and the resistance increases, what will happen? Ultimately, it will break, isn't it? And that's what, if we are not adjusting ourselves, when there's resistance, things are not going the way we want it to go. What is resistance? Resistance is only opposing what is, not being in acceptance of what is, isn't it? So when we are doing that, when we are resisting what is happening and we are wanting to go just the way that I have thought or I have perceived or I think is the only way to be, then I will always be struggling. It's like some of us who swim very well, and if you're swimming in a river or you're swimming say if you just float on an ocean, the water just carries you where you need to go. But if the flow of water is in one direction and you're trying to swim upstream, or even there are certain strokes that you take in swimming, which is against the flow, it is so hard on the body, like you feel that resistance, isn't it? It's so difficult, even when you're rowing a boat and the direction of the stream is in one direction, but you're going in the other way, you're rowing the boat in the other way, your whole speed comes down. That's resistance, because you're not going in the direction of the flow. But if you just drop and say, okay, let me see where life is taking me, and that does not mean that you're being foolish or you're not seeing where you're going, but the effort reduces. And what is making you flow in that particular direction? What is making you flow in that particular direction? There's obviously a higher power, there is obviously a higher energy which is directing you in the way that you need to go. And so that's the trust that we need to be, and understand that life is taking me exactly where I need to go. Life is happening exactly how it is meant to happen. And like Arjun said, the destination is not in our control. How we are going to go is not in our control. When it is going to happen is not in our control. So be aware, be there, do whatever you need to do, but understand that even this that you are doing is a divine plan. Something is making these words flow through me. Something is making you listen to what I'm saying, isn't it? And so many times we plan certain things that, okay, so this is what I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to speak. But when you sit here, it's just totally different. And like for us, people on this path, we really pray that, God, whatever needs to flow through me, just let it flow, because it's a learning experience for me too, isn't it? A lot of times thought comes when I feel, no, I don't want to do this. There is resistance. But then you step back and you say, okay, let's see what is the difference in doing these things. And resistance for me, like, or what I understand is really breaking out of your comfort zone. We've been living life in such a, if I may use a word, like such a monotonous way, isn't it? You get up, you have, like when children are going to school, it's like you get up, get ready quickly, catch the bus, wear your uniform, take a bath. It's like one after the other, one after the other. And then life becomes like that, isn't it? I always go for a holiday only in a particular place, to a particular place. I always travel only with a particular group of friends. But we need to now start breaking through those. When situations come, when you're offered something new, there's a change. There are people who just jump into it. And that's sometimes risky. But it's very adventurous, it's new. Who knows what might unfold from there? Because for certain people, it's like an adventure. But for some, it's like, okay, no, let's be careful. Let's just be in our safety zone. Let's first just be in our comfort zone and only go or only do things that we have done before or others have done before. And that's the safest path. But now it's really a time of change where the universe is throwing you, for those of us who are ready, the universe is throwing us in different ways, in different directions. I see myself doing so many things which I would have never done. And only out of the fear of, I don't know how it's going to be. It might just disrupt my system. If it's 4 o'clock, I have to have my cup of tea, otherwise I'll have a migraine. That was my biggest belief for the longest time. Now, so many times I suddenly realize, yeah, it's 5 o'clock. I haven't even had a cup of tea and I'm absolutely fine. I'm just giving you a very simple, silly example, but these are things that just stick on to, and we limit ourselves in life. And then our body starts reacting like that. Our life starts becoming like that. Those opportunities are right there. And I feel that now is the time to live your life to the fullest. Live your life to the fullest, step out, walk on paths which have not been taken. The universe is pushing you because you are ready. Isn't it? Take that choice, make that choice, change your course, do something new. This program that I spoke about yesterday, I'm very honest to say that it's not something which I have done, it's just an experiment for me too. But I'm excited about it because I have so much belief in the work that we do. I have so much belief in this energy. I fully trust it. And I know that there's only good that is going to come out of it. And again, like, what might come out might be maybe much more than what we are anticipating. So why are we even limiting it only to just a program for weight release or diabetes or hypertension or something like that? Who knows what might unfold? It's like my Reiki teacher Rohini always tells me, the migraine for which I joined a Reiki class 30 years plus back, when I joined a Reiki class just because I wanted to heal my migraine headaches, has brought me to where I am today. So you don't know what opportunities lie ahead. And that too, I was pushed into it. I was not very happy to go. 2 days to go for a Reiki class at that time was like trauma for me. Believe me, it was trauma for me. So where it brings you, what it brings you is a universal plan. We have absolutely nothing. Just go with it. Just build up a little courage. Just, tune into yourself. It's not that you have to foolishly jump into anything, but don't lose out on the opportunities. Life has so much to offer. It has so much to offer. Just see, the pandemic was happening, people were suffering, there was so much happening, and we were pushed into, getting onto Zoom, technology, doing things online, and see where we are today. Even if somebody asked me, can I come and meet you because to do a session, I'll say, no, let's do online. It's just become so comfortable in a different way. And then again, that original thing will happen, and that will also, we'll go back to that too. So just open yourself up, be aware of new things. Whenever you see yourself withdrawing or saying a no inside, ask yourself, I mean, why am I saying a no? Is it just a habit? For me, it definitely was. I'm being very honest to say. But then when you just say, okay, let me see what is there to lose in it, and then you see what all the universe opens up for you. Yes, Srishti.
Hi, Auntie.
Hi.
So, Auntie, at times, so basically, resistance we show towards the situations that we are uncomfortable with. But at times, we just do not want to focus towards it. There are two parts of it. One says focus it, and the other part says resist it. So, then which part of the mind should we listen? Like, let it go or resist it?
No, so see, there's a part that is resisting. The resistance will not allow you to go ahead. But if you really choose to grow and move ahead, and you know very well, like a child like you knows that, is the resistance coming from an ego space, or is there something really to be, looking in here and reflecting on? If it is coming from an ego space, then you just have to drop that thing. And the resistance, breaking those resistances is the most difficult part. But once you step into it, once you break it, then you see what happens next. There'll be something more that will open up. And if you really feel, even after breaking the resistance, I mean, I would always say that don't fall into the trap of the resistance, because resistance mostly comes from an ego space. And if there is something to be, that you need to be cautioned about, or the universe will bring it up for you. Just have that trust. Just have that trust. But understand that there is a reason that the two paths have been shown to you. There is a reason that those two paths are being shown to you. So don't question them. Look at both, reflect on both, make a wise choice, ask for guidance, and you will be guided. But just without thinking, don't say a no. To yourself only, it's not outside. And I would say, check. I mean, does my heart really want to do this? Do I really want to? Would I love to do this, even if I'm not successful? I mean, there's nothing like failure in my dictionary, but success, it's something definitely that you will learn out of it, or it'll be something new, it will be something maybe more adventurous. So let me try it out. Let me build that courage first to try it out and take that step, and you'll see it will happen. And even if the situation, the whole environment around is not, say, very favorable, break through it. You will find things in that situation which will be in your favor for sure.
Right.
Just without thinking about it and saying a no from the point of, just because that's just the way to be, or I've never tried this before. Don't, because that is limiting yourself. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, Auntie.
Yeah. So question yourself if you're saying a no. And a part of you will say, no, I just don't want to do it. Fine, respect that. Absolutely fine. Right? But if that keeps coming up or popping up again and again, know that there is something in this for you to reflect on and move ahead.
Yeah, got it.
Don't doubt things that are coming your way. Don't get into suspicion or doubt that what is it? Why is this coming up? What is happening? Never look at it as something negative. Look at it as something that is giving you an opportunity to grow.
Right. Got it, Auntie. Thank you.
Thanks.
But a lot of times the resistance comes because of fear.
Not a lot of times, all the times. Resistance only comes out of fear. Fear of the unknown. Usually it's fear of the unknown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uncertainty. I want to know. I want to be very sure. But
Correct.
what can we be sure of? what can we be sure of? We can only be sure of that tomorrow morning the sun will be there. If I am there or not, I can't be sure of, isn't it? So the sun will definitely be there. So those are things, but in life, there is nothing that you can be sure of. It's energy. Everything around is energy, isn't it? And energy keeps changing. It changes from one form to the other. So we have to adjust that again, adjust that whatever is the direction of the wind is actually determining your energy. How life is being presented, how things are happening is you have to just mold yourself and actually understand that fear is also just a thought. And if we are really in a centered space, then the thought will not trouble you. But if we get caught in the fear, if we buy into the fear, then we get totally caught in it. And then the fear becomes so big. So whatever you put your attention on, it begins to expand. Even if you say, okay, I really want to try this, I'm not so sure, I'm fearful. So be honest to say that. There's nothing wrong in that. Just be honest to say, yeah, I'm feeling this fear. I don't know how this is going to unfold, but I still want to try it. So slowly open the door, take one step at a time. But I would say definitely try, because the moment you step out, you get that pat on your back by yourself that, wow, I did this, I took this little step. Even, though I was not sure of myself where this is going. And yeah, it's got me to somewhere which is open, blank, maybe even dull, but doesn't matter. At least I took that step to come here. Let me see what lies ahead. Let me take another step forward. So take those small steps, build up your strength, build up your courage, and know that at any time, if you need to move back, you'll move back. And I mean, fear, again, when you say resistance comes from fear, it only comes from the space of not trusting what? Not trusting the universe, not trusting the bigger picture, the universal plan, isn't it? But who puts those two paths also in front of you? Something puts those paths in front of you, no? And had we not stepped out or done all these things, it's like when we tell our child, what is there to be fearful in going to school? There's nothing. You'll go there for 2-3 hours, you'll come back home. That's because you are saying it has been your experience. But for that child, it's a new thing, isn't it? There was a conversation that was happening yesterday, and I think I was talking to my children, and I told them, like, see, this is new for me also. I've never mothered children of this age. It's also new for me, so I'm also learning from you. So it's all a learning experience. All your life you've not done this before, and even if you've brought up one child, the other is totally different. They have a different thoughts that you need to deal with. So everything in life is a new experience. You pick out, you decide, okay, let me just try out this new recipe, but it's just trying it out. You have the steps there, so you're sure that you can follow the steps. But in life, maybe the steps are there, but you cannot see those steps, isn't it? But the path is definitely paved for you. It's all laid out for us. And if we need to if you're feeling that, yeah, the earth is shaking below us, let's try and shift our course a little bit and be sure that you'll be guided. If you need to come back, you'll be put back. Fully you'll be put back. Does that make sense? Let's hear from you all. Good, the silence conveys a lot.
I swear you actually put me into so much of thinking, and because I have to be really, when I'm plunging into something new, I kind of think it quite a few times, and it doesn't come that easy to me. Possibly sometimes I always realize that there is so much of past baggage we carry of insecurity, of fear, that doesn't let us move forward or get into the feeling of maybe adventure or trying new, and so many opportunities, as you're saying rightly, that we miss on also.
Yeah, but you know what you said, like past baggage and all, I feel that with doing so much in terms of energy healing work, do you ever feel that we will be at a point where there will be no past baggage? I question myself this. I've been questioning myself with this in the past few weeks. So if that baggage, I mean, and who's looking at that baggage, who's seeing that? It's our belief in that baggage that is making it heavier and heavier day by day. let me do this also, let me do that also, which is absolutely fine. It's taking you to a different space where you're shedding off. But I feel like now I really feel it's like a bottomless pit. I have not heard or met of anybody who has said, yeah, I've cleared off all my past baggage and I'm living without any past baggage. I don't know. I mean, it's again something which is just coming to me as you are sharing. So we have to just let that baggage be where it is. Drop it down. I don't need to carry it further ahead. And who knows how heavy that baggage is, how long that baggage is going to be with me. And I'm going to, always use that excuse that the past baggage stops me. Now stop that. Let's drop that. Let's say that, okay, the baggage is there. If I'm meant to carry it, I'm meant to carry it. But it's not going to stop me from moving ahead. It's not going to stop me from moving ahead. Otherwise, I might keep thinking that I have to do another course, I have to do another session, I have to, and by all means, keep doing that. But don't let that stop you from moving ahead. Whatever needs to be released will be released as and when it's ready to be released, whether it's through a healing, whether it's through a therapy, whether it's through a psychologist, whether it's just by doing nothing. So let's not use these things as things that are stopping me from moving ahead because of certain things. Those because are only reasons or thoughts that are coming from the mind. Take the plunge. Take the plunge. And even when we talk about fear and all, yes, they are coming from the past, but they are only thoughts. The more energy we put in them, the more they are going to be strengthened in our life and adding on to that past baggage in a way. Because today I'm feeling fearful, then tomorrow this fear of today has added another layer to my baggage, isn't it? So let me drop the fear now. There's nothing to be fearful about. And if fear is coming, let it come. There is a part of me which is watching the fear. There is a part of me which is witnessing the fear. There is a part of me which is totally out of that fear. Isn't it? Let me move back. Let me move back just one step. Let me move back just one step. And let the fear happen. Okay, there's churning today. I'm really feeling out of place. So let me be silent today. I know this day is going to pass away. Then let me try again tomorrow. Even when we say, I heard this, when we even say, I'm going to try, when we are trying, we're even leaving a gap, a space for failure, if I may say. Because trying is not that 100% I'm going to succeed. But just move. And that little step that you have taken, as in saying that I have tried, just say that this is my success for today, or as much as I could do. And then look at the next and the next and the next. Take those steps one by one. We are already trying to see 20 steps ahead. But that's not how life, just take one step at a time. Climb up one step. Oh, wow, let me move to the second. Then it becomes doable also. When we speak about Reiki principles, and I always say in our Friday talks about Reiki principle, that the principles say, just for today, I will not do this. That means I have just promised myself for the next 10, 12 hours, I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to worry. Then it becomes doable. But if I think all my life I'm going to do this, then after 2-3 days, we say, forget it. Like those New Year resolutions, which we make on 31st of December and 1st of January until the 7th, 8th, it's like, wow. And by the 15th, we say, forget it. Who's going to do this all our lives? But every morning, if we affirm or if we look at things as moving, step by step, then we're able to do those things, isn't it? So changes are going to happen. Life is going to be presenting those changes because that is what life is. Even in that, in that thing when we see in the hospitals, it's like the thing going up and down, up and down. And the moment it becomes a straight line, it's like you're dead, isn't it? So it's not going to be like this. It's going to be the direction is going to up, down, direction is going to go like this, isn't it? So that's what we also have to keep moving according to that, or adjust our sail in such a way that, we're able to sail through smoothly. And it's not difficult. We all know how to do it now. So many of these therapies, techniques, or like I spoke today, just be mindful. Okay, life is taking me there. Let me just watch. Let me just see what is happening. The whole perspective of the situation changes. The whole perspective of the issue changes totally if you bring your full attention to it. You will see the guidance that you get. Now, a lot of times people ask me, okay, what course of direction should I take? I'm just so confused. I just can't take a decision. I need to choose between career A or career B. What should I do? I don't know how to get an answer to that. So I always say that I'm really nobody to tell you this. It's your career. You have to choose it, you know, but be silent and ask your question and see how powerfully you will receive an answer. How deeply and easily and powerfully you will receive an answer, because the answers are all there. What am I doing? How am I giving you an answer? How is the pendulum giving you an answer? The pendulum doesn't know your course of action, isn't it? But what happens is that when you are silent, when you meditate, when you come into that space of stillness, all your answers are visible to you. All your answers are visible to you. And then you know there is no doubt at that time. Like Srishti said that, what should we go with? There is no question of a doubt. You are just so in alignment with everything that you have all your answers there. So use these simple things, whether it's meditation, whether it's Reiki, whether it's connecting to your breath, all things that you can just do on your own. You know, just be aware. I mean, even if like whatever you're eating, whatever you're thinking, just be aware of it. It makes it so big. It makes it so, you know, so real. You just are fully involved in it, and it just becomes a part of you. And there is no wind that is blowing outside that is making you change. It is also a part of you. You're also a part of that whole thing. So the wind is changing direction only for you to adjust yourself. It's not against you. The change in direction of the wind is not something which is against you. It is for you. It is to take you along with it. But for you to change your karmas or change your actions in some way to go along with that. It's all in your favor. Nothing is against you. Nothing in life is against you. And even if it seems at some point that this is not in my favor, this is not how I planned my life, this is not how I thought. So there is discouragement, there is disappointment, there is sadness, all that is there. But it's fine. It's how it is meant to be.
So flexibility is something that we should actually keep.
Absolutely.
That's something we
And you know, like even when we do something like yoga and we do particular asanas where and as you keep practicing, you see how flexible your body begins to become. And then when you are able to hold that asana in a particular way, that it's only when the flexibility is there in the mind that the flexibility starts coming into the body also. We've seen this in EFT. You know, we do a particular experiment in EFT where we show that just by one round of tapping, there can be such a big change in your mind and hence in your body. It happens so spontaneously. It happens so spontaneously.
Sujata, can I ask something? You
Yes,
were
Mariam.
you were talking about energy moving vertically and not horizontally. Can you just say a few words about that?
No, I didn't say energy moving vertically.
Sorry.
What
Okay,
I meant,
sorry.
what I was talking was that, you know, when you are, they usually show that, I don't know what that instrument is called, but where all your oxygen and all your parameters are measured when somebody is in the hospital, you know.
Yeah.
And in that case also the graph is going up and down, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going up and down. When it actually becomes still, like it becomes like a straight line, it's when
You're
there is
dead.
you're dead, isn't it? So that is how
Yeah.
you're alive. The up and down movement is what is making you alive, isn't it? That is what I was trying to say. And the body, everything is moving up and down along with it, isn't it? That's the way how life is. When you actually come into that stillness, because it's like a stagnant energy, and that's when you are dead. And it is going to go this way. Even energetically, it is going to go this way. Because that's what gives you life. So the wind is going to blow in all the directions possible. And who's blowing the wind? Let's question that. Who's blowing the wind? So connect to that universal power that is blowing the wind and say, okay, help me to change my course. Help me to adjust my sail in the direction of the wind, and you see how well you will be guided. Just ask, sincerely ask from your heart, and you see how well you will be guided.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to reflect when you feel, and what does resistance feel like in the body? I wanted to definitely speak about this. When we talk about how do you know that you're resisting? How do you know that you're resisting? Whenever you're in a state of discomfort, Whenever you're feeling uncomfortable or any of the low emotions, anger, frustration, irritation, and like we say that all emotions, energy work, we always say that all emotions come from two main emotions, either fear or love. Right? So whenever you are in any of those lower emotions, disappointment, discouragement, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, grief, anything that you don't want to feel, or just saying I'm feeling low, that means that there is a resistance inside you. The moment you start coming into acceptance, you come into joy, appreciation, gratitude, those are the
See, sometimes we don't even know the resistance. Like, I'm just talking very personally last
Ritu, can you just mute yourself? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Vinita.
Sorry. No, I was just saying, sometimes we don't even know what is the resistance cause. What's the cause of the resistance? What is really impacting us so badly that it just becomes very difficult for us to even gauge. So once we can't gauge it, the course of action or changing the odds becomes all the more difficult. Last couple of days I've been feeling very, very low, and you've literally been pulling me out of that. So, I mean, as we talk, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing that I'm actually absorbing so many things. But I still, if somebody comes and asks me, like my family's been asking, what's making you so, sad, or what is it? And I still don't have an answer. It's just that I just
So there
don't
are
know.
various factors. We can't put it only on any one thing. Like it's not necessary that the situation is outside. Is you can there may at times be no situation that you can put a finger to, because there's so many factors. It's not just one factor. You've not had an argument with anybody, things are just fine, nothing that you can put a finger to, but there are factors beyond that also. Let's understand that. I always tell people, and for this last 2-3 days, because of the strong full moon yesterday, a lot of us are feeling a churning inside us. The astrological aspects, sometimes the planets are in a particular way, they are impacting your energy. Everything is energy, isn't it? Everything is energy. For the last 2 days, it has been a lot of churning for people who feel impacted by the full moon. Such a powerful, and now because we are really rising in our awareness and in our layers of, on the scale of consciousness, these things are impacting us more. We never heard of these things before. It was just pray on Purnamashi, or some people used to fast on full moon, and that is it. Or there was a sacred bath or something like that. But now see how many full moon meditations. So we are also putting more energy towards it, and we are also attracting that energy which is coming into us, isn't it? So as we are getting more and more aware of this energy, it's impacting us also. And sometimes we don't understand, because see, even when we say that, okay, so full moon is for manifestation, or new moon is for release, or full moon is for release, though they're in a different way, the same thing. So when the new moon is happening, or when the full moon is happening, and release is happening energetically for those who are now aligned with that and are praying for that, then that will happen. Even when we say things like Tera Tujhko Arpan, and I really feel this because I used to say this when we are saying that we are surrendering to the divine will. Or when I used to always quote in my prayers, I still do, that statement of Muji Baba, which has always been like even my status for the longest time: rid me of the ego and sense of separation, and merge me with who I truly am. So this is the biggest or the highest form of praying in a way, isn't it? That dissolve me from all the sense of separation. So how will it happen in my life? It'll only happen by things going here, there, where I will be able to understand it and grow one layer ahead, detach in a different way, move ahead in a different way, isn't it? How will it happen? It's not that there's going to be some light being poured into me, which of course can also happen. But if we are really praying that, okay, God, I want to be one with you, I want to understand you better, I want to move on to this path of, spirituality and be one with the universe, then things are going to happen in that way. Only then you'll understand the contradiction, isn't it? If you haven't seen, if you want to see light, you have to know that there is darkness. When you are always in the light, how would you know that there is darkness? So those storms are going to come. The winds are going to change direction for you to, understand that you can adjust your sail. You have that ability within you. Otherwise, you'll just keep flowing. You won't know the other thing. It's only when you're thrown in the darkness that you say, no, now I have to make my way back to the light because I always want to be in the light. So the darkness has to open up in front of you. And that how it is going to happen is not your business. You know, it could be suddenly you've lost your job, suddenly there's a financial crisis, suddenly there's a health challenge. Anything could happen in your life. That's the way you'll grow, isn't it? That's the way you will realize that you have that ability to pave your way through any challenge that comes in your life. Because we say that whenever there is a problem, the solutions are always there. That's my deepest belief. But your karmas are going to take you to that solution. You know, you have to be strong enough to look at the solution is right there, isn't it? But you have to come into that space to bring that solution into your life. When you're ready, that too is guided by a higher power. So you have to really come into alignment, be in that flow, be in that direction that you have to sail. And then you'll see that everything will be falling in place. So many of us say, na, that challenge happened in my life and it was like my turning point of my life. And today I look back at that challenge and I say, thank God for that. Otherwise I would never have grown. All of us would have situations in different aspects in our life for that, wouldn't we? Right? So when you're going through it, ask for the strength to go through it, because it is taking you always to a higher platform. It is never that you are going to fall down. I was also listening to something yesterday where, the speaker was saying that when a young child is walking, learning to walk and comes into your room and falls down, you won't tell the child, oh, you're a failure, you've fallen down. You'll encourage the child. Come on, get up. You can take the step, walk ahead, isn't it? You'll encourage the child. The child will take one step, stand up, not even balance, again fall down. Then you'll say, okay, very good. Now stand up again. You can walk. And slowly, you'll encourage that child. And before you know, the child is running all around. That's how you have to tell yourself also. So what if you've fallen down today? That's how you're going to, walk ahead in whichever path you've chosen to move ahead. So don't look at those falling down or those little things which seem as failure. They're only asking you to connect to your ability to pick yourself, because now those muscles are ready to make you stand. And you will be a little topsy-turvy, but very soon you'll find your grounding and you'll be able to move ahead. So when you fall down, pat yourself on the back and say, okay, come on, you have the muscle. Exercise that muscle of awareness, which is going to make you stand up again and move through this challenge. You've been given the challenge only because you have the ability to deal with it. And you will come out of it much, far ahead than what you could also think of. So don't think that the direction of the wind has changed and now my boat is going to be totally upside down, capsized, and I'm going to drown. You're never going to be drowning, because you have the ability to change that. Isn't it?
Sujata ji, can I ask you a general question related to energy and yeah?
Yeah, Divya.
सुजाता जी, जैसे कि एनर्जी वर्क में हमें हर टाइप में हमेशा यही बताया जाता है that try and be in a high vibration. So if you like music, or if you like dogs, do those things that keep you in high vibration. Am I right in that sense?
Come again.
I said कि जैसे energy work में it said that continuously do those things that keep you in high vibration. So that you can send the same thing out, like if you like playing with dogs, or you like dancing, or things that. So my question is that especially for me, since I'm still pretty much, I think, on ground zero, where my environment affects me a lot. So when I'm dancing, or I'm with dogs, or with kids, or in the garden, I'm brilliant. Okay, but I'll come back and some little thing which has really nothing much to do with as such very big also, but when I'm still right now in my forgiveness journey, where I know that certain things or people, obviously the fault lies with me, my trigger points. So does the same opposite also work now, that that other stimuli then is bringing you into a lower energy because you're allowing it, just like that higher stimuli brings you in an upper energy. So
So it's
then
not a
how am I
higher
really
stimuli.
growing?
It's not a higher stimuli. It's just that you're in alignment with that child with whom you're playing, or the nature, or the dogs, because there's no real mind, there's no real ego there. And then when you come into a different space where your ego pops up because of certain things, that's when the trouble is, because you've shifted from your center. It has nothing to do with a low energy. It's the same space. It's because you have allowed your energy to fall down.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all, nothing else. But you have the ability to move up instantly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Learning. Trying
Absolutely.
the Ho'oponopo very, very religiously.
Wonderful.
So powerful. That's my personal experience. It gives so much of delight
It's
and
all
connection.
powerful. It's just our alignment, what we feel aligned to at a particular time, and that's fine. Next time you might feel, oh yeah, this EFT is very powerful. Then you might feel Reiki is just so wonderful. So slowly, slowly, as you get into this, you'll start actually breaking these structures and moving ahead, because it's just aligning to the divine. Some people don't need to do anything. They're just silent. They sit. I mean, so many people ask me, what all do you send Reiki to everybody? Do you do this? I just sit in silence and I feel that alignment, and that's all. I don't even need to lift my hands. I mean, in the sense that it's not necessary to do that, those structures also. But when you are learning, like Divya said, yes, then do it till the time you feel you need to hold on to something. It's like when you learn to drive a bicycle, you have those stands, so that even if you will topple, the stand will stop your bicycle. And then slowly you lift one stand and you lift the other stand, and there you go. So yeah.
Did you want to talk about the emotional alchemy?
Yeah. I
session
don't want to
that we are
talk
having?
about just the emotional alchemy. There's lots that we're doing over this weekend, and I want
Correct.
to share that because on Thursday we have the last of our chakra meditations, which is the crown chakra meditation this Thursday. Friday we have the last of our Reiki principles that we'll be talking about. But the most thing that is in demand, which was my success in the month of July, was the facial Reiki. And so many people have written to me, please repeat, please repeat. So on Saturday, that is next Saturday, 31st, we'll be doing it, but we'll be doing it in the afternoon. I think it's 3 to 4 if I'm correct, because a lot of people from overseas could not join in, since last time I had done it quite early, and my students from London said it's 6 o'clock in the morning, ma'am, it's 6:30. So I'm doing it at 3 o'clock on 31st. So those of you who had experienced it last time, of course, I know you would love to join in, but do share it and do come in. It was just something so wonderful. Srishti, you are going to tell me about Srishti and Tanvi. You are going to tell me about your experience of facial
And
Reiki.
it was, oh my God, one of the most relaxing and joyous things. It was so magical. Like, it actually felt you're having this spa within yourself. It was so relaxing. You could see that glow on your face in the mirror. And immediately, I felt so, so, so happy and good. Like, I think people should just definitely go for it because it was
And
so
actually,
nice.
their mom messaged me after the session that what did you do?
Yes. Actually, even like our dad. So, when we got over with the face Reiki meditation, like our dad came and he said to us, like, have you done something to your face? And then we explained him the whole thing. And then he was so surprised and he was like, so looking forward for it. So he said, like, whenever this is going to happen, the next time you have to do it again, because he was so, so, so happy seeing us glowing. Like, yeah, it was both an internal happiness and external, both. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, and I got that response from so many people. So yeah, that's on Saturday 3 to 4, and Sunday is just Reiki. So anybody who has not learned Reiki, you have to learn Reiki. Anybody who's a sincere student of mine has to learn Reiki. So that's on Sunday. Next Sunday on the 1st, we are going to be, I will be initiating all those who want to be initiated into Reiki. But it's also open for those who want to just repeat their, revise their Reiki, don't need an initiation. Just come in. It's the basic level 1. Do your full body Reiki with 3 minutes. You know how wonderful it is. So yeah, that's happening. And of course, our big program, Emotional Alchemy, focusing on the spiritual and emotional aspect of weight release and other diseases also, starts on Saturday morning. That's 12 to 1. So anybody who needs any details, of course, we'll be sending you on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, everything, whatever. So just whatever excites you, whatever draws you, do be there, do come in and
Sujata, in that the session that you had, you said if you don't want to join the full thing, then you can join different sessions.
Yeah.
So would you give a schedule of what you're doing every session?
So
How
yeah,
would one know?
I will definitely give a schedule of what I'm doing. So like the first week is definitely going to be about, it's going to be more of meditation, mindfulness, about food, connecting to food. It's going to be a very generic as well as a, you know, a very specific thing in which you people are going to be involved as much as I am. It's not like the old Rebirthing 6-week program where I'm just dictating and you people are following. Here it's going to be more interactive. So there's going to be a gratitude journal. There's going to be another journal. You just be sure to ask me and I'll make sure that whatever is the plan for the week, I'll let you know. Yeah, so stay connected, lots in the offering, and just know that the wind is going to keep changing, but you have the ability to adjust your sail and reach your destination absolutely wherever you need to be. Nothing can stop you, no storm, no wind, nothing can stop you.